Beach State looking for their second straight win over UNLV. Got off to a great start. Russell leading the damage. He led the 49ers with 27 points. Seth Greenberg likes the teamwork by his team. Second half, this guy gets hot. J.R. Ryder on the break will get the pass and makes the beautiful shot. But then coming up, scary moment for J.R. Watch him colliding knee to knee with Jeff Rogers. But on the same play, he'll get up. Thomas gives him the outlet, and he lays it in. Ryder stayed in the game. Just awesome. Meanwhile, UNLV held on, a 12-point victory. In the first half, Sharon Wright with 2 of his 21 on the night. Then it's Devin Gray adding to the action. We're tied at 40 at the break, but there's a second half to be played. And Duke took over from there. Hurley, the nice no-look pass to who else? Grant Hill. More Hill coming up, this time from the outside, the perimeter game going. Hill had 25 on the night. But putting it away was, of course, Bobby Hurley. 4 threes, second half alone. Duke wins this one, 93-84. Blue Devils missed just. They were taking it to Virginia. Sam Cassell, the good pass to Douglas Edwards for the jam. Edwards with 25. FSU's tremendous defense. Watch this, Dobard creating the steal here. Bob Sura, watch the no-look pass to Dobard for the jam. FSU up big, 17. Cavaliers do try to stay close. Smith, the outlet to Cornell Parker. Watch the basket. Spectacular. Virginia down by just 8. Pat Kennedy a bit nervous, but not to worry. FSU just too much. Look at this play. Dobard not only makes that basket, but he makes a friend. FSU wins this one, 99-84. Part of our Wednesday jam session here on ESPN. To Missouri, newly ranked Kansas State in town. Tiger fans were pumped up. State was sloppy early. They missed their first 9 shots, and they couldn't hold on to the ball. Reggie Smith, the steal and the lay-in, 13-3 Missouri. 9 first-half turnovers plagued K-State. Lamont Frazier, the steal to Warren, to Chris Heller. Fans were loving every minute of this. Missouri by 8 at the half. Then they just poured it on. Lamont Frazier for 2 of his 12. Missouri led by 19. Finner again to Warren to finish it off. Dana Altman can't bear to see anymore. No problem for the Tigers in this one. They hold Kansas State to their season low in scoring. Point guard Anthony Bean, top 25. Orange rolling up big early. Mike Hopkins with a 3. They were up by 10 in the first half. Lawrence Moulton then feeding Conrad McRae for the alley-oop and the one-handed slam. McRae with 14 alone in the first half. John Thompson not happy. The Hoyas did get it going. Of course, who's getting it going? Othella Harrington, the fantastic freshman with 13. Hoyas cut the lead to 4 at half. Jim Boeheim, bit nervous, but don't beat Jim. Adrian Autry, the underhand pass to McCorkle. Orange pull away and win it easily, and they seal it with a kiss. Adrian Autry with a big game in this one. He had 25 points. He was held scoreless the first time these two teams played earlier in the year. Dick Fick, not happy, gets nailed for his second tee in this game. Refs don't care what Mr. Fick says. Coach Fick's waiting for an explanation. Come on, what did I do wrong? It's never dull when Dick Fick is in this show. Leaves the game. Check out the sign behind the bench. They said it, I didn't. Second half, Austin Peay getting it going against Morehead State, and that was really it. Brad Phillips with a jam. No problem for Austin Peay. 90-75 the final. First win for the Governors in 15 games. Dick Fick's Eagles still having no fun now. 3-17 on the year. American against Old Dominion. Monarchs breaking out strong. Petey Sessoms, the outlet to Donald Anderson, to Keith Jackson. Pretty. ODU by 13. ODU's Odell Hodge, a big night. The turnaround, Jay. More Odell, the inside layup. He had 20 in the first half alone. Eagles come back, though. Brian Gilgus from outside. He had 15 of AU's last 17 points. We're tied at 85 now after Sessoms made 1 of 2 free throws. The inbounds, Darrell Franklin with 1 last shot. Can't get it off. Old Dominion wins it by 1, 86-85. Odell Hodge with 37 points in that victory. Elsewhere, Holy Cross coach George Blaney wins his 400th game. Currently, Indiana is #1, and the Hoosiers were expected to stay that way after playing Penn State, who are keeping company at the bottom of the Big Ten. When you're in last place, you tend to pray a lot, and it must have worked. They led by 1 late in the game, looking to sew it up. Michael Jennings, the steal in the hoop, State by 4. But the Hoosiers would creep back within 2. Here we go, the key play of the game. Watch it. Greg Bartram held by Chris Reynolds, but an offensive foul is called. Bruce Parkhill can't believe the call. Watch this play again. You'll see what he means. Chris Reynolds has a hold of Bartram's jersey, but it's Bartram who gets hit with a foul. Unbelievable. Late in the game, State by 2. Hoosiers with a shot to tie. Graham fouled by Bartram. So Indiana gets 3 foul shots for Mr. Graham, who misses the first. He's an 82% free throw shooter. Graham hits the second and then nails the third on to overtime. In OT, Lions backing down? No way. Deron Hayes hitting the leaner, State by 3. Damon Bailey drilling the 3. We go to double OT. Unbelievable double OT in this game. That's where Penn State freshman Rasan Carlton hits. State back up by 4, but Indiana came back to tie this game. And then Brian Evans nailing his only bucket of the game. That was the game winner. Indiana hangs on in double overtime in a controversial victory, 88-84. After the game, Indiana's Bobby Knight said his Hoosiers didn't match Penn State's intensity nor their play. The general did give some encouraging words to Lions coach Bruce Parkhill, who had a tough time swallowing this loss.
You know, it's really a shame. I told the guys after the game, I just wish there was some way I could take the pain away. You know, just something to tell them, something to do, because they had it. They had it.
What did Bobby say to you when the game was over? What did Coach Knight say? I noticed he was consoling you.
He said we deserved to win. He was very gracious.
On to College Park, where Gary Williams Terps pulled off the heel upset a year ago. Would it happen again? Terps did look good early. X-ray hip, the drive, the slam, 16 for hip. Terps up by 6. But George Lynch giving the Terps problems all night, 12 points in the game. This guy has scored in double figures at every game this year. Carolina up by 7 at the half. Second half, look who's tough, the man inside. Biggie, Eric Montross. He kept it coming again, goes up and over Evers Burns. Gets the basket and the foul. More Montross. 17 points for Eric Montross, 7 of 8 from the field. North Carolina winning it easily. The win put North Carolina coach Pitt and feeling right at home. Luther Wright, big game for him. 2 of his 16 points. But the big guy, the big man, Arturas Karnišovas ticking over. The jam then from the wing, showing he can do it from there. And then Caver finding him backdoor for another jam. Then Karnišovas from three-point range, a career-high 32 points. Pirates win this one 93-7-1. Karnišovas coming through on the night when leading scorer shooting air balls. On the other end, David Kane going the other way to Chanel Scott to Carl Beckett for the easy bucket. Redmond up by 9. Providence could not find the bucket. First Tony Turner, then Franklin Western having problems. Rick Barnes' team shot just 22% in the first half. Redmond led by 14. Friars, it got worse. Lee Green starting the break, then delivers the perfect pass to Kane for the Redmond. What a year for Kane. Redmond win this one easily, and Friar fans just remembered they had some laundry to do at home. Chanel Scott, 15 points. Lamont Middleton.
Look at that, Darrell. Control yourself. Slam one down. Thank you. Arkansas in a 13-0 run. Rick Pitino's club, though, cut it to 4 at the half. Second half, Robert Shepard gets the steal. Now he falls down, but gets the pass to Dwight Spencer. Shepard leads the SEC in steals. More Arkansas running. Clinton McDaniel with the drive and the foul. It's good. Arkansas by 14, but Kentucky went to its main man, the Monster Mash, Jamal Mashburn. Kentucky down by 7, down by 4. But Arkansas would beat the press. Corliss, they call him the Big Mean. Williamson, the Big Mean, goes in for the dunk. He had 22. The crowd loves it in Fayetteville. Nolan Richardson has played Kentucky twice. He is undefeated. How many coaches can say that? And he said after the game that the fans in the stands at Barnhill Arena were the biggest reason why Arkansas pulled off the victory. Bob Huggins on the left, Kevin O'Neill on the right of Marquette, having a laugh before the game. Bearcats known for their hustling defense. Corey Blunt denies Tony Miller. Second half, Terrence Gibson swats Miller. O'Neill's Warriors hung in there at Cincy. 32 seconds to go. Cincy by 2. Jim McElvain kicks it out to Ronnie Eford. Good. We're tied at 53. Time winding down. The coaches plot the strategy. Huggins turns to Nick Van Exel. I said Nick Van Exel. He picks the dribble up. Gets all alone to Eric Martin. Game over. Cincinnati wins. Get out of the gym before they change their mind. 55-53. The Bearcats now 18-2. Marquette 17-3. They're both tied. Looked that way on paper, but no. From the opening tap, it was all Florida State. Bob Sura to Sam Cassell to Rodney Dobard. Dave Oldham just a little upset with his team's play. Charlie Ward making a return after a separated shoulder. His stroke was working. First shot of the night for Charlie. Good. And Oldham was just getting started. Then Ward passes down low to Douglas Edwards. Give us some news. Puts it up. Gets the foul. Oldham on the Wake bench says that's never the jacket. Second half, more Seminoles. Cassell outlets to Edwards for the uncontested jam. Oldham loses his glasses. Let's not show too many more of those scenes. Cassell to Dobard for the exclamation point, and we will not show you Mr. Oldham out of deference to everyone in our viewing audience. Dobard, Cassell.
Payback to the team that knocked Duke from the top spot exactly a month ago. To Cameron Indoor for the highlights, and Eric Meek gets the start instead of Cherokee Parks because of the good defense he played last game. He continues denying Malcolm Mackey on the breakaway. Well, some things never change. It was a night of the Hills. Thomas the steal. Grant throws the touchdown. Dad ran him in. He threw that one to Thomas Hill. Bobby Hurley back in form. The great feed to Thomas Hill, who had a season-high 26. How about some more Hills? Thomas the miss. Grant the weak side help. You can't stop that. And Grant blocks Drew Barry, makes the steal. And watch Bobby Hurley with the beautiful feed to Antonio Lang, closing it out against Bobby Kremen's team, losing by 10. Hurley just had 4 points in this game, but he focused on moving Wisconsin. Great start. Jalen Rose throws it up, and Chris Webber throws it down. Michigan by 5. Watch Webber inside. Get position and get out of my way. Great dunk. Wisconsin, though, would hang tough. Stu Jackson has this team playing well, and Michael Finley, a developing star with the right hand. He had 13 in the first half. And watch on the fast break, in transition, Brian Kelly go around the world and make the hoop, and the Badgers down just 4 at the break. But in the second half, it's the Wolverines. Jimmy King, the dish, Webber, the finish. It's like a broken record. Webber, the finish. 21 points as Michigan wins easily. Michigan 8-2 now in the Big Ten.
Cowboys up 4 at the half. Second half, all Kansas. So Eric Hawley, the soft touch on the J. Then Rex Walters, the drive to the hoop. It counts plus the foul. And Rex, you fired up. You fired up. Then Darren Hancock gets the exclamation point with the dunk in the fast break. He's fired up. Kansas wins it 84-72. 400th win at Allen Fieldhouse for the Jayhawks, who won 38 of the last 40 home games.
Early. Everett Gray goes inside for the lay-in, but he comes down hard on his lower back, and there was concern. Riley Massimino out to check his player. Gray was taken off on a stretcher, a bruised lower back, but Riley after the game said Gray was okay. UNLV not okay in the first half. Les Shepard makes the steal, goes all the way for the lay-in, and Stan Morrison's team up 10 on Raleigh's team. But the second half, Ryder with a storm, the jam, the short J, and stepping out for 3. JR with 23 in the second half, just 37 for the game. And the Rebs win by 6, 9-2, tied atop the Big West with New Mexico in the Pac-10. 5th-ranked Arizona, that's Khalid Reeves. Right shoulder injured, x-rays negative. Doubtful Saturday against Washington, but Damon Stoudemire steps up. Hits a 3, and one more time from outside the stripe, he had 17 points. Washington State staying in it. Mark Hendrickson on the putback, and would they put Arizona into the beaten ranks of the Pac-10? No, the big guys took over. Ed Stokes, the putback inside. Cougars had their chances, down 4. Benny Seltzer couldn't hit a 3. Tony Harris couldn't hit a 3. And for Kelvin Sampson, his team was so close, but couldn't get it done. Losing by 6. Mills inside, 19 points and 11 boards. Katz encouraged his sophomore point guard, Corey Alexander, to shoot the ball more, take over the game more. Well, Kevin Thompson took over in the first half. He had 10 points, and the Wolfpack were up 5 at one point. But then Alexander did take over. Watch him drive, count it with a foul. Then stepping outside the arc from 20 feet away, he scored 14 of 16 in one first-half run. UVA by 7 at the break, and Alexander finishes with 25 points and 5 boards as the Cavs win by 9. They've won 6 of their last 7 against the Wolfpack. Cards just eat up the Green Wave, but in the second half, the Green Wave come back. Matt Green with a jam in less than 2 minutes left. Pointer Williams will kick it out to G.J. Hunter. Will he break the tie with a 3? Absolutely. Green Wave by 3. After some missed free throws, it's a 2-point Tulane lead. Louisville a chance with 1 second. Dwayne Morton for the win is wide right. Sorry, Bills fans. Tulane wins 62-60, only their 3rd win in 25 tries.
Weren't tired, and they didn't back down either in this physical game. Duke found out all about Rodney Rogers. Look at this, the follow on his own miss. Grant Hill hurt his ankle on this play. Status for him uncertain. So without Hill, the game continued. Final seconds, first half. Rogers, the finishing off the nice give and go. 24 points for him in the first half. Second half, Duke doesn't do much better stopping this guy. Rogers impressing his hometown crowd. Yeah, Rogers grew up in Durham in the shadow of the Duke Blue Devils, a career-high 35 points. And Rogers to Maryland. Then Bob Sura took over. Gets the runner in the paint. Knowles led by 15, 10 minutes left. But then Maryland wasn't about to back down thanks to this guy, Kevin McClinton. He went to work. Pulling up, sinking the J. McClinton scored 11 straight Maryland points. FSU leading by 1, less than 2 minutes left. McClinton kissing it off the glass. Maryland by 1. Could the Terps protect the lead? Tied at 82. Edwards to Rodney Dobard for the lay-in. Not when Dobard's around. Florida State by 2. McClinton, one last chance to pull it out. Down by 3, the Terps were. McClinton with a heave-ho. No good. Maryland falls by 3. McClinton with 32 points. Doug Edwards chipping in for Florida State with 19 points, 11 rebounds, and showed he can coach. Off the opening tip, check out this play. Chad Collender, the tip to Jason Walter for the layup and foul. Tom Davis is a bit concerned. Watch this play now. Jim Bartles picking up the loose ball, scooping it to Kenyon Murray for the dunk. Iowa still down by 7, though, at the half. 41.9 seconds left. Minnesota trying to hang on. Collender, the long pass to Vashon Leonard. What a game for Leonard. Leonard had 32 points. You know, just like Clem Haskins drew it up, Minnesota wins this one 91-85. Leonard breaks out of a big-time slump. 20 of his 32 points came in that second.
But Bama was also a bit desperate. The Tide needed a win to keep its hopes alive for a 5th straight NCAA bid. Alabama welcoming the Razorbacks into Coleman Coliseum, but Arkansas making themselves unwanted guests. Scotty Thurman for the slam. He had 24 points. Then off the steal, Clinton McDaniel ahead to Darrell Hawkins, also for the slam. Razorbacks up by 7 and showing absolutely no respect for their home guests here. But in the second half, James Robinson takes over. He helps lead a 23-5 run. Pretty move there. And again, Robinson the rebound. Off and running, the jam, the ham, and Robinson 27 points as the Tide rolls. They come back from a halftime deficit. Boston College, Derek Brown hanging around as the Redmen go up 36-23 at the half. But second half, tempers flare. This was an ugly game. They had 5 technicals. Nobody ejected. Nobody scored a bucket within the last minute and a half of the game, but there was a few plays made in between. Jarrett Abram with the dunk as BC tries to rally from a 17-point deficit. The lead, they cut the lead to 1, but the Redmen hold on. That's Chanel Scott following the miss. 14 points for Scott. And St. John's does hold off Boston College 65-61. Rainbow's round ball coach Riley Wallace has had problems this week, namely facing the top 2 teams in the WAC in consecutive outings. First, there was that tough loss to BYU on Thursday. Then comes 16th-ranked Utah on Saturday. Great game on ESPN. Rick Majerus waving an arm. First half, Larry Kane inside to Josh Grant for the lay-in. Utah up by 16. But late second half, Hawaii steals it. Kirk Taylor going to go in for the layup, and the Rainbows down 2 with just a minute and a half left. Maybe it was those uniforms. Hawaii with one last chance. Fabio Ribeiro cannot get the shot off. Number 16, Utah holds on for a 62-60 win. Utah's now won 9 of the last 10 meetings against Hawaii, and the win ties Utah with BYU for first place in the WAC. After being blown out by 14 by Marquette earlier this season, UAB came to a blazing halt Saturday in Milwaukee. Kind of typical sequence here of the inadequate play. Gene Bartow of UAB can only laugh at this pitiful sequence. Marquette no better. Ronnie Effort's jumper, major air ball, and then Jim McElvain not much better, but Kevin O'Neill still hoping for some baskets. Jackson driving, pretty pass to Reginald Allen for the easy lay-in. UAB up by 1 late second half with the slowdown game. Air ball there. What do you expect as Marquette tried to pull it out? A 44-38 ball game. Blazers coach Gene Bartow says he doesn't like and knows the slowdown style looks ugly, but he says after beating Marquette and Memphis State with it, it looks pretty good to him. Linda?
Looking for 15 in a row. Jason Tyrus for Washington in all alone, but misses the jam. That's how it went for the Huskies. Stoudemire misses here. Stokes for the monster dunk. Arizona wins by 9. In South Bend, Rick Pitino's second-ranked Wildcats coming off their loss to Arkansas. It's Andre Riddick with a block here. But Jamal Mashburn gets it to Roderick Rhodes for the huge slam. 22 for Mashburn. Kentucky wins this one. It was a laugher. Yeah, Jamal, take a laugh. In Washington, D.C., John Calipari's 22nd ranked Minutemen in a battle with GW. Now, after hitting a 3 and being fouled, Tony Barbie misses the free throw, gets it back, and makes an incredible play here. He nails the 3. This was a 6-point play. It tied up the game. Now, 5 seconds left. Reason to be excited. Mike Williams spins and drains the 3. That's how UMass won their 11 straight. Moving on to Philly. PJ's Pirates visiting Villanova. 23 seconds left. Terry DeHare working free and hitting the 3. Hall by 3. Time running out. Lance Miller beating the buzzer with a 3 of his own. We go to OT. Miller had 19, but that bucket was the biggest. In OT, DeHare coming through again, draining the 3. He had 24. Hall wins by 6 in OT. In Madison, 18th-ranked Purdue visiting upset specialist Wisconsin. 8 seconds left. Glenn Robinson hitting the J to send it into the extra period. In overtime, Michael Finley hits the tough shot. gets the foul. Finley had 33. On to the second OT. Purdue up by 3. Kelly gets rejected by Robinson. Robinson, the story, 42 points in A.
And against number 4 Michigan, Mr. Happy hitting himself. Then it's Juwan Howard hitting the easy turnaround jumper. Michigan opens it up early. Howard 12 in the first half. Michigan up by 13 in the first half. Jimmy King from way downtown, bang. But just before the half, the Hoosiers kicked it up. Matt over boards and baskets. Michigan leads 46-44 at the break. Remember that score. Chris Webber piloted the Wolverines. Second half bid Michigan again up by 9. No mask, no problem. But then the Hoosiers started crashing the boards. Nover again. The Michigan lead is just 5. And now to the kid who looks like he just stepped out of the movie Hoosiers. Brian Evans, the crew cut 3. Yes. Indiana ahead 79-78. Watch Calbert Cheney underneath. How good is he? Takes the time, takes it easy, gets it out to Evans for another tray, and the postman may have rung again, but Indiana did not answer the door. Evans shuts down Webber in the corner in the waning moments, and the Hoosiers win by 1. The Wolverines went better than 6.5 minutes down the stretch without a field goal. Over 20 points, 8 boards, 5 of them offensive. He was wrong. The man he was talking to did some talking to UNLV. Clifford Rozier butts in Cards by a dozen at the half. Vegas with a 59-game home win streak on the line gets tough in the second half. Everett Gray, both the blocks there. And I watch J.R. Ryder weave through the Cardinal defense off this one here like a guy running back a punt. 31 points, 11 boards for J.R. Vegas -3. So the Cardinals choose to move outside. Dwayne Morton from way downtown, bang. And off the break, Morton one more time, this time out to Troy Smith, who reverses field and lays it up. And Raleigh, by golly, a loser at home. The Rebs first since the 28th of January, 1989. For Louisville, the real thing, coaching his Jackets against 6th-ranked Carolina. Rick Barry didn't pass, so son Drew does constantly. Beauty to James Forrest, Tech 36-31 at the break. But the Carolinians open the second half with a 12-2 run. And Gordon rolling to George Lynch in the heels by 3. Then Tech rallies behind young Barry. Holds the rock this time. Carolina's lead is just 1, but they go on another rip, they do. An 18-4 run. Donald Williams out to Derek Phelps. Nobody contesting this. Carolina by 7. And then they invoke the famous old 4 corners. Williams wastes time and then drives. Flashback to 1973. Carolina wins on the road 77-66. Williams ends with 21, Phelps with 13, as they were Sunday afternoon against the Ducks of Oregon, and defense was the word. Mitchell Butler steals off to Marquise Burns, which is nearly an anagram for Bruins. UCLA by 9 at the break. In the second half off the miss, 5 Bruins will get a hand on the ball. Everybody here but Gail Goodrich and Kareem. Sean Tarver will do the payoff on the slam, while Oregon's hopes were carried by the sophomore Orlando Williams. As Jerry Green's Ducks get within 3, he's adding that up on the scoreboard, but to no avail. Tarver goes ballistic late, misses, bounds, hoops. UCLA finishes strongly for Herrick, out-rebounding the Ducks 46-25 as Tarver tallies 29 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists. Jason in a passing mood, feeding Alfred Grigsby for the spinner and the foul. Kid showing all kinds of stuff. Strips Dion Cross of Stanford over to Gerard Haas. Kid passed early and often. Next one here, feeding Akili Jones for a layup, and there's another foul on this one. It got out of the way very quickly. Interim coach Todd Bozeman up 46-25 at the half. Kid breaking Cal's single-game assist record, 13 of them in this game, and he finishes it as he began it. A steal, no pass this time, a slam. Cal 86, Stanford 61. Who held the old Cal? Penny Hardaway. He wins the Wooden Award. Does that make him a wooden penny? Well, he wasn't wooden in the slightest. The soft outlet to Billy Smith, perfect arc. 6 assists for Anthony. Tigers taking it to DePaul in this game known as the gang that couldn't shoot straight. 8 of 29 in the first half, 33% for the game. And this one is over by halftime. Billy Smith clanks a 3, but Anthony Douglas beats the clock. State by 18. And then a little showtime for Hardaway in the second half. Well, wait till you win, till you cheer it up, son. Off the Leon Mitchell feed. Come on. Tigers 79, Demons 57. 5 staters in double figures. DePaul never gets close